What if I told you the company that might beat Google this year is also one of the most chaotic companies in AI right now? I am talking about Meta. On one side, Meta projected to overtake Google in digital revenue, that is ad revenue, for the first time ever. On the other side, the report says layoff, nothing big, the June 2026 layoffs, internal panic, low morale, delayed AI models, and a leadership team making billion-dollar bets under insane pressure. So, this is not a story about Meta winning. This is a story about what happens when a company is printing money but still acts like it is losing the war. Stay till the end because the scariest part is not Meta is falling or failing, it's that this strategy could either make Mark Zuckerberg unstoppable or blow up in the public. So here is the puzzle. How can Meta be successful on paper but this unstable behind the scene? Because normally when a company is dominating, employees are confident, leadership is calm, and the roadmap is insanely clear. This is not what is happening here. Meta is making more money, spending more money, taking bigger AI risk than ever before. And the deeper you look, the clearer it gets. But Zuckerberg is obsessed with building a second one that could redefine the whole company. The second bet is where everything gets insanely dangerous. The story number one, the machine that already wins. Let's start with the part most people miss. Meta's real AI success is not its chatbot, it's its ad engine. According to eMarketer, Meta is projected to pass Google in worldwide ad digital revenue in 2026. This is a massive shift in internet history and era. Why this is happening? Because Meta platform knows what people react to, what they watch, what makes them stop scrolling, and what actually converts into purchases. That means Meta is not just selling ads, it's selling prediction. And that prediction engine has become insanely effective. So the core business is not weak. That's why this whole story gets so weird. Because if the main engine is already winning, why is Meta acting like it's in survival mode? Story number two, Zuckerberg's giant AI gamble. The answer is simple. Ads are not enough for Mark Zuckerberg anymore. He doesn't want Meta to dominate digital advertising. He wants to dominate entire frontier AI. This is why Meta told investors it expects 2026 capital expenditure of around $115 to $135 billion. That is an absurd level of spending, and then Meta pushed even further with its roughly $14.8 billion scale AI deal, bringing Alexander Wang into a major AI leadership role. This is not careful corporate investing, this is a wartime AI strategy. Meta is basically saying we are already own one of the strongest internet business on the earth. Now we are going to spend at scale that forces everyone else to take us seriously in super intelligence too. But this is where the story stops looking bold and starts looking desperate. Let's move on to the story number three, the cracks inside Meta. Because while the outside story is power, the inside story is insane pressure. Reports say that Meta laid around 8,000 employees in May and shifted roughly 7,000 more into AI-related work. Mark Zuckerberg himself admitted in a memo sent by Reuters that company has made mistakes and would already certainly make more. That alone tells you how messy the transition has become. And then Meta's CTO reportedly said morale is near the worst it had ever been, comparing it to Cambridge Analytica era. We all know though about that. Think about it. A company that's rich, that's powerful, is close to beating Google, still has employees feeling like culture is breaking. And then came the biggest red flag. Meta reportedly delayed its flagship AI model, that is Behemoth, because engineers were struggling to improve it enough to justify release. That changes the entire story. Because now this is not just a spending story, it is an execution story. Meta is not just on how much money it can throw at AI, it is being judged on whether it can actually build something world class with all that insane amount of spending money. So let's talk about the final payoff. So the real question is not whether Meta is powerful. It is obviously. The real question is whether Meta knows what it wants to be. Is it the greatest advertising machine ever built on the planet? Or is it an AI empire? Or is it an AI empire trying to prove it belongs beside OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic? Because right now it looks like Meta is to be both at the same time. And that's exactly why this moment is insanely dangerous. If Zuckerberg pulls this off, Meta becomes one of the most dominant companies in tech history, of course, Silicon Valley. If he fails, this becomes one of the most expensive identity crises Silicon Valley has ever seen. If you want breakdowns like this on real AI war happening behind the headlines, subscribe to the channel right now because the next few months for Meta, OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic are going to be brutal. And most people will only understand the story after it's too late. Comment below, is Zuckerberg building the future of AI or burning billions trying not to be left behind? Hey, if you have not met me, my name is Pritam. I talk about AI, latest trend, AI news, and productivity hacks. I happen to be a TEDx speaker and author as well on generative AI. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.